Hey everybody, Joel Nelson here at the St. Paul Ice Show. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the show and how it's been, but at the end of the day, we're wrapping up here. It's a Sunday. It's been a great show. We've had a good time, but now we're ready to fish. And I'm excited because this kind of signals the end and the beginning of so many things. The end of the promotional season for many people. And now we get out on the ice. Now it's time to ply our trade. And I tell you, ice conditions right now are a little tricky. I'm not going to lie. We had about 2 days of ice down by me when Thanksgiving break happened. Then we had open water in some parts of northern Minnesota, the Dakotas and Wisconsin. Ice hung on, but now we've got snow on top of that ice. I tell you, snow on top of ice is a recipe for some potential dangerous situations. So I want you guys to be careful when you're out there. I want you guys to first and foremost have a plan, buddy system. You want to fish with at least another angler so you're out on the ice with somebody else. And I want you to have a couple pieces of safety equipment with you. A spud bar is invaluable. This kind of ice especially, I need a spud bar because I want to check the entire perimeter of where I'm going to be walking to make sure that I've got 2 to 3 inches at least of safe ice. I prefer 4. 4 is what I want when I've got my kids, my family, people I care for out on it. That's what we got to have. I want to delineate that area with a spud bar. Step 2, get yourself some ice picks. Wear them around your neck. Make sure that you've got those in case the unimaginable does happen. You can wear a float suit. You can have a throw rope. Have picks too. All those things are great tips for some first ice safety. Learn to read the ice as well. I'm always looking when I'm on a snow-blown lake, any spots of snow that are slightly depressed, areas that are discolored, anything that looks different from the rest of the ice sheet, I've got that spud bar and I'm checking it out. With my own spud bar, I know 2 solid strikes means at least 2 to 3 inches. If I hit that sucker and water comes up, it's too thin. If I hit that sucker and the spud bar goes through, no good. So those couple safety tips are going to be really good for you guys when you're coming out on all those snow-blown lakes with some of this fresh blanket of snow. If you were lucky enough to still have good, clear ice with no snow on it, let's bring on the cold weather, man. Let's get that sucker going. I want you guys to get out and enjoy, drill it up, and have a good time. But I want to leave you today with a couple tips related to my favorite rods on ice. When it comes to St. Croix, nobody does species-specific. Nobody does technique-specific like St. Croix rods. And I tell you, the CCI lineup, the Croix Custom Ice line, it's prime for those specific situations. My favorite rod on the panfish side of things is a rod that's been near and dear to my heart, and it's been in development in my mind at least for a decade. St. Croix made it a reality. They're engineers. The way they put this thing together, it makes me better on ice. And that's really important because I'm talking specifically about the tungsten tamer. When I'm talking first ice, I'm fishing fast. I'm fishing tungsten jigs. I'm fishing small spoons. And I want to be able to go out and run around, and I'm not going to spend too many times and too much effort in one specific spot. I need to fish fast. To do that, I need to be able to have a rod that loads up ever so slightly that I can see both up hits and down hits on. And this rod, this tungsten tamer, is perfect for small spoons and especially for tungsten baits, fishing quick, seeing bites visually, setting the hook, having fun, and moving on to the next one. Early ice is all about fishing quick. It's all about fishing fast and efficient. I don't need a spring bobber specifically for early ice. When the bite gets more finicky, that's when I turn to the Legend Blacks. That's when I get those spring bobber systems out. When crappies are just snooty and not letting me have at them. Early ice is all about the tungsten tamer for me, amongst several other rods. But now I want to talk to you walleye anglers. When I'm talking walleyes, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm fishing fast. I'm fishing efficient. I want to go up and down those breaks, and I want to make sure that I'm dropping more baits to more fish. So the way I do that is, number one, I'm fishing with a longer rod. A longer rod offers so many different advantages out on the open ice. If you're not fishing in a shelter, if you're not in a wheelhouse, you might as well have extra leverage, extra oomph, the ability to take the flex out of head shakes on a big fish, and the power to keep that sucker pinned during the entire fight. So This eye razor is a brand new offering as of last year from St. Croix in its CCI lineup, and it could be the perfect outside eye rod. And when I say eye razor, it really is an eye opener too. Mostly because for a lot of the people that are fishing St. Croix CCIs, they're used to taping that reel on. And that offers a lot of advantages too. When I'm talking panfish, I want to be able to tape that reel on at the point where it feels perfect in my hands. I've got the flexibility to do that with the St. Croix CCI. The eye razor does a little bit different. When we're talking big fish and we're talking about a pressure point and where it needs to be, and we know for a specific rod where we want that thing mounted, a reel seat is really nice for larger reels, bigger species, fish that are going to put such a flex in this rod that you're going to want that reel seat for some stability during the fight. It's just going to feel better. And that extra length on that handle kind of crawls up my forearm a little bit. So when I'm jacking a big fish, I can really put some power to it. I tell you, these two rods specifically have been a game changer for me out on ice. I know they're going to be great for you guys too. So as we come out of the St. Paul Ice Show, as we look to hit first ice, do a couple things for me. Number one, be safe. Have a plan. Do the things I talked about. Number two, fish fast. Make sure you are covering a lot of water because there is good fishing to be found somewhere. It might not be where you're at. Go after it. Get it. Fish quickly. Be efficient. Use these CCI rods to your advantage. Hey, we exist to give you guys the upper hand. That's exactly what these rods do. I want you guys to be safe. Have a great holidays. Fish on.